Hi everyone. I thought I'd make a video on how to make a high quality mask to protect yourself against COVID-19 when you go to the supermarket or drugstore or something like that using an air filter. So it's kind of a tricky way of improving the quality of your mask and making a fairly high quality one at that. So if you're not handy with your hands, because we are going to be cutting away on an air filter, you could just maybe double up on your mask. You can even triple up if you want, if you have a mask like that. They're pretty easy to do that. So this is the filter that I bought. I bought one that is the size of my house because they usually come in packs of 3 or 4. And because of that, uh, it's good to get the right size. Now they're all rated different. There's some different rating systems here. This one is rated MERV 13. Make sure you get one that's protected against bacteria. Okay, now viruses are actually smaller than bacteria, but the typical uh, contamination in the air that somebody breathes out is probably going to be on moisture drops and things like that that you're worried about, and those are bigger and probably will be taken care of quite well by the filter and your mask. So that's why we wear that. That's why we wear this stuff. So hopefully it'll do a good job. Is it going to be perfect? No. Is it going to be N95? I really don't know. It might be better than we think, but it's probably not that kind of quality because those have been studied. So, but maybe you can buy a better filter, a very high quality filter. So it might give you some ideas. But this is the one that I used. Okay, now I don't recommend using a knife. You don't need it. And I certainly don't want you to gash yourself and then end up in the emergency room. That would defeat the purpose. You can cut away with scissors. You're going to need a little force. So you need to be handy with your hands. Again, so this is not for everybody. So if you're not good with your hands, and there are some prickliness in the wires edges, so you want to be careful of. So there's a little bit of a challenge here to whittle away down on it. So removing the top part of the surface cardboard is pretty easy, and you can work your way. Now I would cut along the seam here to start out and remove a section like that. That's the easiest way to do it. And you're going to have some wire prickly on the edges still when you cut through the mesh, which is those steel scissors do a pretty good job. It's not that the wire is not that hard to cut through. Okay, so I cut out the section here, and you can use a mask to measure the size that you want, and you can work it. So once you have this section cut out, then you can work your way inward and cut along the edges there. And then I got a section cut out here, and notice I used a pretty ordinary pair of scissors, but they need to be fairly strong. Okay, now again, the wire edges you want to be careful of, especially don't poke yourself in the eyes. I mean, that would be horrible. If you want, wear glasses or goggles that might be more protective. So again, this is not for everybody. Please don't do it if you're not handy with your hands and you're not used to, uh, doing things like this. So be very, very careful not to poke yourself because that would defeat the whole purpose of this. So once you have that out, a section out, it's pretty easy to peel the wire off. You can stretch it out like an accordion first. That'll help to remove some of the stickiness of the wire from the paper, from the air filter. Okay, so now we have a pretty good filter here, and you can add it to your mask. As best I could tell, it is thicker than the mask itself. So, and it has a pretty good fibrous quality to it. So it's going to be protective, and if you want, you can add 2 or 3 of them in there, and that would probably really help protect it. I guess at a certain point it'd be hard to breathe, but I don't really find it that hard to breathe. So, it does a pretty good job. So add a little bit of Elmer's glue if you want to hold it in place. I recommend that, and you can double up on your mask and put it between them. So that's another trick that you can do, and when you do that, you don't need any glue because the 2 masks will hold it in place, hopefully. So when you're all set, make sure you cover up the bridge of your nose and all the way down to your chin, because the air will get in this, try to get in on the sides. So you want to be careful of that. So there we have it. I have a couple more additions that I'd like to talk about. So you can reuse the mask every 2 to 4 days because viruses don't live on surfaces very long, especially airy surfaces like a mask. I use an ozone cleaner in my refrigerator now because it tends to kill bacteria, hopefully viruses, although it's not proven. But ozone, I use it for my musical instrument as well, and so it's pretty well known that ozone helps to kill bacteria. So I would assume it would do this with viruses, no guarantee. So this one was made by Green Tech. It sort of blinks when you open the refrigerator. The light, it gets light activated. It shuts off, and when you close the refrigerator and it's dark, it emits ozone. And it's not obnoxiously a lot of ozone, so I like this one. But it provides some protection because viruses can live longer in a refrigerator. And I like to have a 2 to 4 day rotation on everything. Pretty much I do everything 4 days, food and as well as mail, things like that. So whatever I get, I have a 4 day rotation just in case. Although they say the viruses really gets, when you eat things, your acid would kill off a lot of the virus. Most of the contamination or the risk factor is in the atmosphere, in the air. So some of the air particles, the viruses can get on different aerosols in the air as well. So this mask should really help quite a bit when you're outside. Okay, so that's pretty much it. So I hope this helps, uh, and please stay safe. Thank you.